Alright, I'm back, and this time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be working with destructibles and how to manipulate them in code. So this is a bit different. So we need a geometry. First things first, we get stack mesh, create destructible mesh, and increase the fractionness. Yeah, and there's a few things you need to do. Impact damage. Yeah, sure, why not? World. I think you need world support. Debris timeout. You can have accumulate damage. Yeah. Okay, so structural mesh, and so if I drag one in the scene, it will just crash when I break into it. But notice how it just stays broken, and yeah, not really that exciting, is it? So what if we go in here and up this up? Beware, if you do put that to a too high number and try and fracture it, it'll crash. I've done that. There you go. But it doesn't work with bullets because it's just impact damage and not done in code. So impact damage works with the player, but the problem with this by default, with no logic behind it whatsoever, is these will just stay here forever, right? That's annoying as hell, and you can't walk through them. So that's what we're going to be working on mostly. The destruction literally just works immediately. Right, so let's make a class, shall we? Let's call it actor destructible. Destructible. Okay, so let's open this up. Okay, so now over here we're going to need a bunch of variables to set up a class. So, class stuff. uProperty, visible anywhere, blueprint read only, category equals custom, allow private access to be true. Okay, so and now this one's going to be our root. We also need a class destructible mesh. Destructible component, I think. And call it destructible component. We're also going to need some slightly different ones. Edit anywhere. Actually, do I need to? I don't even know. Make it to be fractured and float debris lifetime. Right. Okie doke. So, debris lifetime, ball for fractured. I suppose you could have the old particle effect as well. So and maybe sound. Okay. So right, we need private functions. Custom destroy. So we need there, and new function void on component fracture const effector reference hit point. I figured this out by putting the blueprint node into the blueprint editor and store the parameters, because these dynamic delegate stuff doesn't work unless you have the exact correct parameters. So these parameters have to be bang smack identical. Okay, so on fracture, this function gets called once it shatters. Okay, so yeah, there's that. And now all we need to do really is we need to initialize our component. So first things first is my root component equals create default sub-object of u scene component, call it my root component, and then root component equals my root. So that makes a scene for our blueprint extension. Now we also need the, what do I call it, destructible component equals create default sub-object of u destructible component text destructible component. Pretty sure this doesn't work unless you've included the destructible library, so we'll go and do that right now. Include classes components destructible component.h. I'm not sure why that didn't pop up. I think it's that. Soon find out. Okay, and then that's that, and then we need to do just what's wrong with it? It just gives up. Oh, come on, what's different? I missed an I. Destructible. Keep missing it. Such a weird word. Destructible component, right. On component fracture. Dot add unique dynamic this a destructible on component fracture. Okay, so now we just need to make that function. So void a destructible on component fracture const effector hit point const effector hit direction. Okay, so what we're going to do here is pretty much just make a timer. Now we know how to do them, so local timer, because it will go out of scope. Get access to the world. Okay. And then fracture just true. And world get timer manager set timer timer this a destructible my destroy custom life not no what do I call it lifetime debris lifetime and don't loop. So there's that, and then basically we just need our other guy function. So which do what is wrong with this? Oh, come on. set collision enabled, e-collision enabled to no collision. You also want to do this, set visibility to false, and if you're using this in another class, you'd do that. So you can track the initial impact versus the finished destruction. Okay? It won't have any use in this current function or anything, but it will work. This will only work with impact damage though. To do it with like a hit or something, you can either do on-component overlap, where so when the projectile goes through it, it will destroy the projectile and do the thing, but you probably want to do on-component hit so it'll work with raycast as well. But the way I did it was really weird. I did it with a static mesh in front because destructible components don't detect regular collision, which is annoying as hell. So basically what you do is go over here, right click on this class we just made, create a blueprint of him. Should probably do that. New folder. This is what I do anyway. Blueprint extensions. And then put him in there. BP underscore destructible for blueprint extension. And then we need the effect, the sound, the lifetime, and that stuff. And we just need to set the destructible, which will make it big. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So now if we get rid of this one and put in our one, that's for some reason over there. Oh, that's weird. It should have its own transform because the scene is supposed to like this. Does that make any sense? No, it does not. What? How bizarre. Whatever, it really shouldn't make that much difference, it's just weird as hell. Okay, so if we walk into it, it doesn't crash anymore. Oh, yeah, it does. And now it disappears. That's literally all we've done, right? But that's really useful to know, because this function I was not aware of in C++. But yeah. I suppose we could make an on-hit one, or at least try to. Right, so we'll try to. Ufunction, destructibles, on hit. It just means it's going to need a static mesh to register the hit. Oh, I know why, lol. I forgot to do a crucial part. You need to set up attachment to my root, and this one needs to be stack mesh. Okay, so now we just need to make the function implementation, which we'll grab over here. Okay, so we don't need this. We probably don't need that either. We don't want to add impulse, we want to literally destroy, but first destructible component apply. Apply damage, give him like more than enough damage. Hit location. Hit dot get. Hit. Can we just not do hit dot location? Yes, we can. Hit dot. Normal impulse, and the impulse strength, sure. I haven't used that one before. I did radial damage with a projectile radial component in code, which was really weird. Would not recommend. Let's see if that works. If that works, then fair play, because that should trigger this when you get hit. So it'll destroy the static mesh, but then also explode the destructible mesh. Okay, so alrighty then. Error. Random error, weak object pointer. Why? I'm not sure. I suppose you could check. Oh, I made a mistake here anyway. You want to do if destructible component is not null for this one, and then you also want to do my static mesh component destroy. Actually no, you don't want to destroy it because it will kill the hierarchy, so we'll just set visibility, false, basically simulate destruction as we did before. Okay, and we need this one for this because there's a bit more. Okay, so if the destructible mesh exists, apply damage. If a static mesh exists, get rid of him. Okay. That should be everything. Oh yeah, it's not here because it's killed itself, of course. I think everything's correct there. You know. Okay. Not sure why the floors. Yeah. Good, it didn't crash. That's a good sign. Now we have a static mesh, which will be a cube as well, which needs to be, this needs to be like 1. This needs to be like 0.1 bigger in each bit. And it needs simulate generate hit events, and should we try that? And now it's actually in the right place. Okay, so it didn't register the projectile yet, probably because the projectile doesn't register destructibles, most likely. So if we go to the collision component here, and we put simulate generate hit events, and we'll put it to, oh no, technically, oh, custom collision enabled, that might do it. No. Why is that not doing it? Static mesh, simulate generate hit events, collision enabled, projectile. That honestly should explode. One way to, one other thing. Or it could just not be, just to confirm. Okay, so this will confirm whether the hit is actually happening but the damage is like missing, or something dumb. I do think it is hitting it, but it might need to be radial damage, thinking about it. Man, it's compiling. It takes so long. Okay, so go to log. Oh no, it's not even applying the damage, but wait, what? What? Oh wait, am I doing it the wrong way round? Oh wait, what? It's not actually. Why is that not bigger? Oh, for God's sake, because he scales a bit. There we go. But now the damage isn't working because it's not correct. Let's try destructible component, apply radius damage, base damage, hurt origin. I don't know, destructible component get actor. Okay, get component location, damage radius. Actually, no. This, to be fair, probably can be the. Her origin is probably where you got hit, so. And then damage radius is will make this. I don't know how big is big, so that's kind of a problem, isn't it? Impulse strength. Full damage? I don't know. Full damage, why not? Let's go. So hopefully if the radius was big enough, then we will crush the destructible via shooting it. Oh god. Do. Come on. Ouch. Okay, nice. Huh. Well, that worked, just not quite how I had anticipated. Maybe this radius is like way too small. Damage. I don't know if this damage means anything, but I know it has like destructible missions have their life, and I think it's default to 0.1, so anything above that should be fine for the damage. It's applying the damage really pathetically, isn't it? We'll just do the see what effect this creates. It might be because it was falling to the ground. So. Oh, there we go. That seems a bit temperamental. What about perfectly on the ground? Okay, so if you put it in the ground a little bit, it'll erupt. I'll take that. I mean, that seems a bit buggy to me. I'm not sure. I must be doing something wrong. Although this was just a mock, like kind of a mock-up test. This is not how I did it when I first tried this. There's a if we go on to, you can do this radial force thing. Which cannot be shrunk, apparently. God knows what that does. Yeah, I did it all in code, so I'm not sure how this one works up here, but you can call applied damage from this. Oh wait, hold on. So if we just, for the test, let's find a destructible guy, geometry, put him in the scene. Well, that works anyway. Not too flashy, but oh, and I forgot to spawn the effects. So if destroy effect is not null, u gameplay statics spawn emitter at location this destroy effect and get actor location. If destroy sound is not null, u gameplay statics play sound at location this, destroy sound, get actor location, and there we go. Now, provided they've been filled in, yes. Flashy. I'm sure you can make a game out of that. There you go. There's quite a bit of C++ in this little project now. Not bad. There you go. This took longer than anticipated, but destructibles, kind of weird, aren't they? But okay, have fun with that. Mess around with it. Radial force is where I'd recommend you to go if you wanted to get the more correct impact thing. It's just weird. That works though. That solution works. So good luck.